Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. Today I am beyond thrilled to be taking part in Junk Journal January 2025. It is like a dream come true for me. I've been following Meg for several years now and I've taken part in some of her challenges in the past. Some I finished, some I haven't, but I have loved every prompt that she comes up with and I've had a lot of fun making journals along with her and all the other artists. So today it is my turn for prompt number 28, which is sealed. And I've got a couple of examples for you because I've made some what I'm calling time capsules, which obviously need sealing and reopening at a later date. I did one for originally, so this was the first one. I did this and it'll be on my Instagram account and I've yet to seal it, but it's a Vellum sort of time capsule envelope, and in there I have just made a very small journaling card with some of my watercolours and doodles, and then I have done my journaling in there, and it's like a little letter to myself with some encouraging words which I will no doubt want to call upon in the future. So that was the first one I did. And then I decided to play in my No Sew November journal, which isn't finished because I stopped halfway through the challenge because I was unwell. And so I'm trying to fill it up now and just play in it and enjoy it. So this is my second time capsule and it's exactly the same as the first one. I made it out of vellum, and inside then I made another journaling card, a lot larger this time, and I used a technique. I followed a tutorial by Michelle from the Creative Cove, which I'll link below, to make this journaling card. And then in the back I added just a piece of tea-dyed paper to journal on. Again, I haven't sealed this one in place yet, and I haven't written in it, but I will do. So that was that one. And the video I did for this one, it didn't turn out very well. I had a horrible white sort of bright streak going all the way through the video for most of it. It drove me insane, so I decided to redo this video. Yep, that's the perfectionist in me, I guess. So this is the one we're going to make today. It's very scrappy looking. You can see the similarities in it. The difference with this one is that the embellishments are more on the outside than the inside, but this one does fit in this journal here, and it fits behind this little belly band I've made there. So this is also in the video. And then inside, again, I haven't sealed this, but inside I've got my little mementos here, and they are loosely attached together. Let me just squeeze this out because I think I've tied it. And then, so I've just got a sealed dried flower with a laminate there. I haven't journaled yet, and then I've just made a really simple tag. There's a little faux seal there, and again I've just got some paper on the back there then to journal on. So this is what we are going to make in today's video. I really do hope you enjoy it. I'm also hoping that I will remember to add in a couple of notes during the tutorial where I forgot to do things, and try and just preempt that so that you don't make the same mistakes as me. But I really do hope you enjoy this today. I've loved making this and taking part, and it's really filled my heart with joy to be invited to the challenge. So please do stick around and enjoy the show. See you soon. So the first thing I want to do is create my time capsule, and there's a couple of ways that you can consider using the prompt sealed. One of them I thought about was actually using laminated sheets, and you could put things like dried flowers in there like I've done here, or you could use paper ephemera and embellishments like butterflies and flowers. So that's one idea you could use for your sealed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use dried flowers, and I'm going to seal them by varnishing them. And it's a technique that I've been inspired by Michelle from the Creative Cove. So I will link her tutorial in the description box, but I'll give you the very basic of how to do it. And she uses this product, which I bought from Amazon, called Fusion Mineral Paint. I'm pretty certain you could use Mod Podge or watered down PVA glue. And this is a dried leaf from my garden here. Oh, but the rest then are purchased dried flowers, again from Amazon, because I don't have that range of dried flowers near me, so I have bought them. So that's what we're going to do. So let's make the time capsule, which is a very simple pocket envelope first. Depending on the size of journal, now I'm using a small journal, you can either start with the insert, you know, what you're going to put inside your time capsule, and then design the frame or design the time capsule around whatever you want to fit in there. But if you're restricted on size, then I suggest you start off by making the time capsule and then pop inside what you can fit in. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make an extremely simple kind of, I think you call them money envelopes. So what I'm going to do is use the largest part. So this is just Amazon paper bag, which I've embossed. Again, I guess this meets the sealed element because you've sealed a pattern into the paper. Yeah, check me out. My brain's working tonight for a change. So the easiest way to do this is to fold it in half to the size that you want. It's a little bit too big, but I will cut it down. Okay, so let's try and cut this reasonably straight-ish. So it's going to be quite a small, let's call it envelope, time capsule. And that's not exactly straight either, but I think that's quite a nice size. And so we are going to, you'd either stitch, or you would, if you're not going to stitch, you need to glue. So I'm going to stitch around there, and then this top part is going to be where you're going to seal your time capsule in place. So it can be as long as or as short as you want it. So, sorry, yes, I might have quite a nice large flap there. So what you can do is, you don't actually need both. I suppose you could keep them, but it will bulk out your journal. So I'm going to cut that off. I can reuse it somewhere else. You can make it slightly shaped. So the way I would do that is to fold this in half and then just take the edge off a little bit, maybe. I don't want to take too much off, but just cut around there. put a nice little shape in there. You could put a little notch. Yeah, I might do that actually. I'll use my circle punch. Oh, that's a bit better. And what I've done is I've inked around the envelope time capsule. Now you can see here it's already starting to rip. So there's a little bit of a weakness there. So you can put some fabric on there. I think I might just use washi tape. It's going to be scrappy anyway, so I'm quite happy for it to look scrappy. So I'm just going to pop some washi on here. And also do the back as well. Don't think it's going to get much wear and tear in the journal anyway. Right, okay. So that is my envelope. And what I need to do is decide where I'm going to embellish the envelope. And I think I might embellish here. Or I could embellish underneath. But I think probably on the envelope flap would be the nicest. It all depends on what size this is, of course, but you can change it around. So before I stitch that, I'm going to do my dry flowers. And I've got this handmade paper which I purchased from Etsy. And what I was thinking of doing, so that would look quite nice there. I think that looks quite nice. So I'm just going to stitch there. I'm going to stitch around that rather than glue it together. And I'm going to stitch around this and I will be straight back. And so what I need now is a brush. And I suggest that you use an old brush. And I'm going to do this off here so that I can carry on playing with this while this is drying, because I think you'll probably need to leave it a good 24 hours to cure itself. So I'm going to pop some of this in here, and please do check Michelle's from the Creative Cove, her tutorial. She's got a couple of them actually where she uses all of her dried plants and they are beautiful. So we're going to do the base first, and this is to ensure that you've got the same glossy finish. You will get this. This is certainly quite glossy. It says it's matte, but there is a shine to it.
It's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. Just us two, me and you.
So this is quite saturated now, so I need to really gently pull it up. And in hindsight, I think I should have put it on some freezer paper or parchment paper, I think. There we go. Quite gentle. Now I'm going to try and find a sticky-less surface and let this dry overnight. So you've got to be a bit patient. But I believe the results will be worth it. Okay. So let's create our little inserts for our time capsule. So what I was thinking of doing was using this very rich and colourful image from the Graphics Fairy, and I was going to add it to this tag here, something nice and simple, and I just need to trace around it. Of course I haven't got a pencil to hand. How could you have a craft room without a pencil? The mind boggles. And I've got this more handmade paper. I was thinking of adding that to it. And we've got some more scraps here. Of course, you could put anything in your time capsule. Again, maybe one of these flowers would be a really nice thing. So maybe we'll do something with that now. So I'm just going to, I think I might sew those into position. And then add something else as well, I think. So I'll just put this back on. And I've got some of my tickets, so I think that would look quite nice there. So pop a bit of glue on there. And I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. There we go, some scrappy stitching. You could cut that off, but I really like it jaggedy like that, and I think it will fit in here just about. Maybe if I just take it off just a little bit there. And I think that's enough actually. I think that probably needs to be subtle. And I've got this little tag here as well. So I was thinking I could use one of my dried flowers here. Oh yeah, that fits quite nice, doesn't it? So again, just to use it for the sealed element, I could pop that on there. Now then, how am I going to, would I be able to glue that? I think I could probably stitch it straight down. Yeah. I will give it a go stitching it there, that's worked out really well. And although sometimes I do get a little bit stressed with the prompts, just trying to be original or just think of any way of trying to meet what they mean, and you can make them mean whatever you want, I think, in the end. But when I do actually find a way to use the prompt to inspire my work, like this now, so you know you're sealed with a laminated sheet, I feel quite accomplished. So yeah, it's worth the effort, I think, but I do get a bit stressed at times. And on some of them I literally just think, well, I'm going to put a label or a quote or something on there that's loosely related to the prompt. But it's more important that you actually create something and not try and shoehorn your creativity into a word, because it doesn't always work out. So we have a sealed flower there. And we've got that there, but I know what you're going to ask me now. What are we going to do with this? I think that will look quite nice. That would look nice, actually, thinking about it, as a belly band on there, wouldn't it? If I wasn't creating this to be sealed, I think that's what I would actually do. Or even if this was just going to be something that was slotted into a journal, that would look quite nice on the back there as an embellishment. I really like that. I love those colours, that deep red and the brown there and the deep green there. So yeah, I like that. But anyway, that's not the plan for today. So stick to the plan, Steph. Stick to the script. The script is a time capsule. So what I want to do now is do a little bit of stenciling on here. And for that I need a stencil. But I've got to be able to fit this into the envelope. I don't want to make it too big. And what I want to do on here then is to record my thoughts and feelings, which I will go through in a little bit. So it's slightly bigger than there, but still going to fit. So we've got to work out now, are we going to stick that on there? Or what I could do actually is hinge it. Yeah, I could hinge it. That would work. If I hinge it on that side, like that. So I don't want to put it folded in there, because again, it's going to be too bulky for the journal. So let's cut it down. I'm not going to write War and Peace on there, so it's okay. I don't need a really big piece of paper. And we just need to attach that onto there. Now you could just stick it down, but I want to use this to write on as well, so what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to use a little bit of tape and refold it, I think. So I just pop that like that. And so that's like that then. So it's like a little booklet. And let's put something on there. Just make sure it'll fit. So I'm able to write all my musings on there. There's more than enough space, I think. And we also need something there. And I was thinking of just using a little bit of... let's have a look. What have I got here? Some twine. Let's use a little bit of twine. Oh, hang on. I need to put a hole through there. I have lost my little hole punch, my single hole punch. I have no idea what I've done with it. It's gone on walkies. Oh. You know that feeling. It's so annoying when you can't find something. So what I'm thinking on here, I could just put something like a quote, like a small quote or something that's meaningful. And so those then are going to go into my little time capsule. Like that. So what we need to do now is make sure this will fit. And we need to attach our sealed dried flowers, and then we need to consider how we're going to attach our time capsule into our journals, and there's quite a few options, so I'll run through those as soon as I come back on with my dried flowers. So I've had an idea whilst I was off camera to do a little bit more in the sense of seal. And I've got these faux seals here. And of course, if you want to do your own wax seals, then of course you can go ahead and do that. I don't want a naked flame in my craft area because that would be silly for somebody like me, who can't be trusted. But I've got these lovely faux seals here, which I purchased from Amazon. And I think I'll go with that one. And I've got lovely glue on there. You can still see the label. And there's a very quick and easy way to seal your work. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to attach this to my journal. And the options you've got is to glue it down like that. You could create a flip by sticking some washi tape there, or you could do the flip that way. You could glue 3 sides, so you could either have a top opening or a sort of side tuck there, or a side opening I should say, or if you just glue the 2 sides you could then have a tuck spot there and tuck something underneath. But I'm thinking actually I quite fancy a belly band, because I'd like to put something behind that to make this stand out a little bit. And I also thought then I could add another one of those faux seals to the belly band. And when you think, if you do think about putting a belly band in, you need to consider the room you've got on either side, or top and bottom, whichever way you're going to do your belly band. So if you're going to do it like that, or you're going to do it like that, you obviously need enough space to go on either side there. So I'm going to put my glue gun on in preparation, and I'm going to use this piece of paper. Actually, have I got enough room? Yes, it's large enough for me to double up. So let me glue it. You could put a little secret message in here and then seal it up. Yeah, I'm on fire today. Okay, let's see how big this needs to be. I don't want it interfering with the centre there. Just check that will fit. That would work. Okay, if I just glue these down lightly. So here all I've done is just use strips of paper that have been cut off things like tags and pages. And let's distress the edge. When you're making a belly band as well, what you could do is instead of sticking it down like I have, you could make it into a flip belly band. You can have a double pocket, so you could have the belly band go in there, but you could also create a pocket there. This journal isn't big enough to do things like that in, but certainly you can create lots of different kind of tuck spots and hidden spaces when you're using belly bands. I love belly bands. Okay, I'm just going to stitch around there. So whilst I was over the sewing machine, I found a smaller little cluster. It was on my desk, which I thought was really pretty, and it does go with that there. So I thought I'll use that. And I also thought, maybe I'll add a little bit of that green handmade paper around, and then that just gives me a little bit of extra room there as well. And that'll, when I close up, it'll just stick out a little bit, and I quite like that. So that's what I decided to do. So what I need to do now is gently and hopefully not make this belly band too small. It's going to be a tight squeeze. So I'm just going to glue down the edge there. And go as close to the middle as I think I can allow myself. And I think I'll add some washi tape there as well. Don't know which way it goes really. It looks a bit like a Christmas tree. So there's another seal. Happy with that. Let's pop this in now. Let's just hope it fits. It is going to be a tight squeeze by the time I get my flowers on there as well. My flowers are all dry after dousing them in this Fusion mineral paint. So I'm happy with those. And as you can see, they're still really flexible, which is the great thing about using that varnish. What I wanted to do is a little bit of work to my time capsule. And I'd like to put some of this paper on there first, just to give it a little bit of texture. And I've been thinking about what to do as a closure, so we'll have a play with that now. That's dried up because I left the top open. Let's just pop this on here. Like that. So I just want to give a little bit of extra interest on this brown paper. And what I'm thinking of doing is, and it always happens, this would have been far better off done before I stitched all around this envelope, this sort of pocket envelope. So if I remember when I'm doing the video editing, I'll put a little note on the screen to say, don't forget your closure. I always forget my closures. Always, always, always. What I'm going to try and do, oh, and I've also tied that together as well, just to keep it easier to go in and out. Sorry, right, back to the problem in hand. So I'm going to put a faux kind of button there, which I think I might be able to do with a brad, but I do know it's going to cause issues. And what I need to do is I need to put an eyelet there, and then make a faux button there before I stick this on, I think. So let's do the eyelet first. And I've got my crocodile, and I'm going to pop in a hole there, and then grab my eyelets. I think I'll use rose gold. And while I'm doing this, I wanted to talk about the time capsule and just some ideas on what you can do to put in there, and some of the things you can think about are you could put like a list of all your favourite things, so like a favourite page list of all the current things that you're really into. And if you open that up in a couple of years' time, that'll probably be quite interesting. And the other thing you could think about is a list of goals for the future. They could be big goals, they could be small goals, a list of both. It does help if you have your time frame in mind on when you're actually going to open your time capsule. The other thing you could do is put some small memorabilia in there, some mementos from a special occasion, a scented strip of paper that reminds you of that time and place. You could include affirmations, some sort of curiosity predictions, if it's particularly political at this point in time. Whether that's good or not, I don't know, but you could consider making some predictions on the future, some crazy ones, which you never know may come true. You could add a bucket list in there, and a bucket list that's possibly a short-term bucket list, one that you're likely to be hopefully crossing off in the next year or two. And if you're more interested in journaling, so actually writing to your future self, what you could do is follow what's known as the GROW framework. And what that is it's a list of thoughts and feelings around gratitude, realizations, outlook and wishes. So for your gratitude list, so that's the G, you could look at acknowledging sort of serendipity moments in your life at the moment, things that have happened that you could never imagine, and just one thing led to another and then something amazing happened, and they're always really good to remember those moments. Or you could write about your achievements that you're really grateful for, and also some experiences that you've had in the past year or two, and things that make you feel really grateful for your life. The R, the realizations. You could write about your lessons learned, reflect on some personal growth, maybe insights, things that really have just dawned on you recently that you'd never even considered before. For the O, for the grow, you could look at, so your outlook and aspirations. So it's outlining your goals and your vision for the future. And again, having that time frame is helpful for that. And then the final letter, W, your wishes and your dreams. You could express your hopes, what you want to achieve for that particular time frame, something big that's coming up. Could be something that you're worried about, or it could be something that you're really excited about, and you could write about that and write about what you think you're going to feel like when you reread your time capsule. There's lots of ideas. There's plenty of things on Pinterest, and if you go on the big world wide web, as we like to call it in our household, the kids still think that's really funny, but I do remember what life was like before the internet. But yeah, the ideas are pretty limitless, but I like the idea because if you're like me, I often don't look at my journals. Once I've written them, their use is finished. So it's nice to include something in there that I may just return to many years ahead. Okay, so they're my ideas for your time capsule. Right, what I'm going to do is glue it on. It's not going to go through. I've tried my best. I can't get it to go through. Let's just chop some of that off because we don't need it too long. And because this is not going to be stuck down, I'm going to decorate the flip side as well. But I'll decorate the flip side first, I think. And I've got some pieces, some scrappy bits here, which I thought I would use. So I'm just going to do a really simple collage. A very simple collage. And right, let's work out, where do we want to put the finishing piece? I think that's too high. Let's have a look in here. One of the reasons why I've done this closure is because it is a belly band. And so what I was thinking of doing to preserve the dried flowers is not trying to slot them behind the belly band. So I thought if I could seal it up that way. Probably need a little bit of extra space there. Mind you, that's not going to work either, is it? Because it's too far. Right, okay. It's just going to need to be closed like that. So I think that there's a bit of room there, so that can go above there like that. Right, and course, this could be decorated a lot more. I am thinking about that actually, whether I need to add in a little bit more texture, possibly. I like that. It's very grungy. And I think I'll just tuck that in there for now. And that is my time capsule, partially sealed, but that is my day 28 for the prompt sealed. And I really do hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial, that I've given you some ideas on how to journal, on how to seal items, on just playing with things in your journal so that you can record and keep precious memories. I'd again like to thank Meg Journals for inviting me to this wonderful challenge. I have loved taking part, and it's stretched me and it's encouraged me to craft and get my supplies out and be just a little bit creative during a difficult period of the year, as it's Christmas here at the moment. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy this too. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'd love to have some comments and feedback on what you think of my video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye bye for now.
Let's be more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two.